So week 9 is upon us, and here's 3 kickers that I'm going to have sleepers this week. And the first one's Nick Folk of the New England Patriots. Not many guys are going to have Nick Folk on their team. But anyway, Folk, he's got a great matchup versus the New York Jets, and I expect the Patriots to score early and often and get in field goal range. The Jets give up the third most fantasy points to kickers this year, and Nick Folk, he's available in 95% of fantasy leagues. And the last 3 weeks, in week 6 he had 7 fantasy points, in week 7 he had 8, and last week at Buffalo he had 8 also. So Nick Folk, he could get you 8 to 10 points. And if you need a kicker, this is a sleeper kicker I'm going to have. The second guy is Santos. I told you to go out there and get him after the waiver process was over, Santos. But no one listened. He's still 99% available in all fantasy leagues. And Santos is on a weak Chicago Bear offense that settles for a lot of field goals. The last 3 weeks, he's had great fantasy games with 13 fantasy points, 5 and 14 last week versus the New Orleans Saints. And this week, he versus a Tennessee Titan defense that is pretty stout versus teams like the Bears. So I think Santos, he could go out there and get you another double-digit fantasy game from the kicking position. And that's something that's underrated and that you could definitely use in your lineup. A kicker getting double digits, that's something good. And Santos, he definitely could do it. And the third and final kicker I got is a sleeper this week. He's available in universal leagues all over. It's Dustin Hopkins of the Washington football team. Them and the Giants, it's going to be a division battle. I think he'll get a few chances. Hopkins is not the best kicker at all by any means. He's not owned in any leagues, but he's been around the while. Washington, they have faith in him. He's got a pretty good matchup. The Giants, middle of the pack and giving up points to kickers. But Hopkins, I think he could get 3 or 4 opportunities at hitting a field goal and an extra point or 2. So that's 3 kickers I'm having as sleepers this week heading into week 9.